Hi, I'm Allison.
And I'm Meryl.
And today, we're going to show you how to explore the life cycle of amphibians with third graders.
Life cycles include three main stages: birth, growth, and reproduction. It may be helpful to have a visual to represent the ingredients for a life cycle. You can either print the amphibian life cycle visual provided or make your own with three main stages.
The word amphibian means an animal that can live both in the water and on the land. Explain that amphibians have spines or backbones just like us, but they have cold blood. Cold-blooded animals have body temperatures that fluctuate depending on their environment. Amphibians include frogs, toads, salamanders, and newts.
There are three activities to choose from: the amphibian habitat scavenger hunt, the Streams and Roads board game, or create your own vernal pool. After you've completed the activity, we have included a short conclusion at the end of the video. Feel free to select more than one of the activities. For our first option, you could lead an amphibian habitat scavenger hunt. This activity involves guiding your participants in finding a habitat that would be great for amphibians. Most amphibians need to keep their skin moist because their skin is thin and permeable, allowing things like water and air to pass through it. This helps amphibians breathe through their skin, but it also means they can lose a lot of water through their skin. Ask your participant to imagine that they could breathe through and absorb water with their skin. What would it feel like? To think about where to find cool spots if it is sunny outside, ask your participants if it is cooler in the sunshine or in the shade, and explore a shady area. If it is cloudy or rainy, explain that amphibians prefer this weather to move around. Next, you may be able to find a pond or puddle on your walk, but if not, imagine where one might form if water travels downhill and collects in low spots. If you are unable to go outside to explore, you can get creative with the materials you have inside by using pillows to represent small hills, string or cord to form a pond, a lamp to represent the sun, and furniture to represent trees or shrubs. You can make this more engaging by moving like an amphibian.
You can crawl like a salamander, you can hop like a toad, or you can jump like a frog.
Into the best spots for amphibians and ask them why they chose each spot. After your participant shows you a few cool, wet spots, explain that most amphibians lay their eggs in the water and the eggs hatch into babies that have gills so they can breathe in the water.
Are you ready to embark on a fantastical journey through the life cycle of a frog? Let's play Streams and Roads. This game is played just like the board game Chutes and Ladders, except the chutes and ladders are replaced by streams and roads. In the game, the streams move players forward, as streams and bodies of water are essential to the survival of amphibians. The roads move players back in the game, as roads can be really problematic for amphibian migration. You can have your participant imagine they were the size of an amphibian, and then imagine they had to cross a road being that size. That would be a pretty big feat. They will start as a frog egg, trying to make it through the life cycle. Once they complete the game and make it to the final square, they are now an adult frog. Celebrations may include hopping around like a frog and sticking their tongue out to catch delicious insects. If you have a die from another game at home, this will work perfectly to move around in the game. Otherwise, you could use a virtual dice roller from the internet, or even write the numbers 1 through 6 on pieces of paper and pick them out of a hat. Happy adventuring!
Have you heard about vernal pools? They are pretty cool. For this activity, your participant can use materials from around the home to create their very own vernal pool. A vernal pool is a small body of water ranging in size from a large rain puddle to a small pond. These pools are only temporary and usually appear as amphibians are looking for nice wet spots to lay their eggs in the early spring. We have included some photos of different types of amphibian eggs if you would like to provide these to your participant for reference. If your participants like drawing, you could have them draw a vernal pool and some of the inhabitants they may find inside. Another option could be to use a piece of cord or even tape to outline a vernal pool, then use different household objects to represent the amphibians, like a set of marbles could look like some frog eggs in your vernal pool. To finish the activity, you can ask your participant questions like, what stages of the life cycle did you represent in your vernal pool? Have them point to each addition to the pool and explain what stage it is going through.
Wrap up the activity or activities you chose by going back through the life cycle of an amphibian and asking your participant what they remember happens to amphibians in each stage. Birth, when eggs hatch, growth, when the babies develop into adults, and reproduction when the adults lay eggs. If you chose to use the life cycle visual, you can use this again to remind your participant of each stage. Ask your participant to explain to you what an amphibian is, and help guide them to a cold-blooded animal with a spine that can live on land and in water. An optional extension to help your participants solidify their learning would be to ask them to create their own amphibian and draw on paper or sculpt using clay what their amphibian would look like, moving through the 3 stages of the life cycle. They can give their creature a name, too. Invite your participant to share what they learned about amphibians with someone new, like a friend, sibling, or other family member. Thanks for watching, and we hope that you enjoy your exploration of the life cycle.